Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe. I'm a Forbes contributor covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. Our guest today is Katherine Davies. She's the CEO of Iguacu. Katherine, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Devin. It's great to be on your show. Thank you.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. Katherine, we just love what you're doing because there are so many of us who at different times have said, I'd like to give to a cause, especially a humanitarian crisis, where you feel that compelling desire to give, and yet we don't know where to give. And you're helping us sort that out. Tell us a little bit about how you came to this idea.
Thank you. Well, it was exactly that frustration. Back in January 2014, I was thinking about the Syrian war and wanted to give to a charity helping the Syrian people, but an effective one. And I looked online and it was like chaos. To try to make sense of the Syrian crisis, let alone find a charity that I had confidence in that context of the Syrian war, was really impossible. And it occurred to me that whenever there's a major crisis in the world, there's millions of people like me who feel the same way, want to give effectively, and it's awful that that can't be harnessed in some way. Given that it's 2014, back then we have the technology, the smarts, the capability, surely, to be able to create a trusted platform. And then imagine if you could harness all of this desire around the world to give effectively.
Yeah, well, it is an obvious need, and I get that it's an obvious need. What's interesting is no one has really come at the solution the way you have. Tell us about what you're doing, not just in technology, but the network of experts that you're building.
Great. So when you look at many charities that work in humanitarian response, often they're global charities, large global charities that have been doing this for many years. And you can look at the papers, you can look at the reports, but internationally there is no agreed international standards for financial reporting, for example. And so what we decided to do was just set aside the paperwork and the reports and what charities say they do, and build a network of people who are really connected on the ground and are able to see through their lens, and we speak to lots of different professionals from all different types of organisations, who are the truly effective actors on the ground in that particular crisis. And by building this network and liaising with this network one-to-one, we can then recommend to the public charities that we really trust are effective. And that's what brings our confidence to the platform.
So you started in Syria, as I understand.
The first country, well, we started in the Middle East, but we also covered South Sudan from the very start. Sorry, it's been a long time, feels like a long time. We now cover 8 countries, and we have 2 countries in the pipeline, and the next, we will cover natural disasters as and when they arise.
Great. Now, can you give us an example of a charity that meets your criteria that you recommend, say in Syria or South Sudan?
Absolutely. Well, in Syria, the charity that we recommend, or the network recommended to us, was IFRC and their local partner, SARC, the Syrian Arab Red Crescent. They operate throughout the country. They're highly effective on the ground. They have nearly 8,000 active staff and volunteers. And in such a dangerous context like Syria, they're the best equipped actor on the ground. And our network said again and again, they're really the most effective actor on the scale that they operate and in addressing the key humanitarian challenges that exist in Syria today and that change on a daily basis. They've lost 54 of their team since the beginning of the crisis. And yet, and you can imagine with 54 people being killed, how many people have been injured. And yet they just go back again and again, day after day, doing their best to help the Syrian people in the midst of war. So yes, they're our recommendation on our platform.
No, that's fantastic. I appreciate you sharing that. As you have sought to build out your team, you've been able to do this with a lot of volunteers. How does that work?
Well, the more we talk about Iguacu, people really love the idea, and we've had a number of people at the senior level coming to help us. Right now we have a global strategic marketing expert coming in once a week, Katherine Davies, and she's going to actually end up being a trustee of our 501c3 when we register in the US. It's been really interesting since the beginning. Every time we speak to Iguacu, and especially myself, because I'm often talking externally, people are really drawn to helping us. And so we've had all kinds of different projects. We had a campaign last year which drew in a lot of volunteers. And on an ongoing basis, we contact especially experts in the corporate world where there's a need at Iguacu, and we invite them to connect, and they generally really love connecting with us. In fact, in the next 12 months, I'm going to be focusing on building a corporate sponsorship program and finding a mission partner and senior philanthropists, because actually we're finding that people are really interested in supporting and aligning with what we're doing. And also we have big plans for 2017, and it's based on a lot of data, and we think we should have a pretty, we will be successful at securing that kind of support.
Well, sure. Well, Katherine, I really admire what you're doing and what you've accomplished so far, but tell us a little bit about the name Iguacu and how that relates to your vision.
Well, the name means big water in the local languages of South America. And if you akin a drop of water as to one person's compassionate response to human suffering, the idea of Iguacu, which is the name of a great river in South America, which leads to the world's most beautiful waterfall, according to the experts, 3 kilometres of waterfall surrounded by forest. The idea of the vision of Iguacu is if we can channel effective action, we can create something as beautiful and as powerful as Iguacu. Likening one person's response to a drop of water, we can create something as powerful as the Falls of Iguacu, which is really a magnificent sight. And I believe you have seen the falls yourself.
Yes, they are a magnificent sight, perhaps the most magnificent sight in the world. They just are spectacular. And I think it is a great metaphor for the idea behind Iguacu of creating a flood of donations to a single point that where it can do the most good. So it's a brilliant metaphor. Katherine, you clearly are admired, respected, looked up to, revered. Who do you look up to as a role model?
Well, you know, one of the countries we cover, most people don't know much about. It's called Central African Republic. It's about the size of France. It's one of the most dangerous places in Africa. Population of about 5 million people, most of whom live in poverty. And the charity that we recommend, our network recommended in CAR, is MSF, their operation in CAR. MSF basically holds up the health system of CAR. They are the largest health provider. In fact, they're the largest employer of local people. They've been in CAR for 20 years. And when it gets super dangerous, I mean, it's typically dangerous there, but when violence flares and NGOs leave the country, MSF doesn't leave. And they work in some of the most dangerous parts of CAR. And this is a really inaccessible country. The last time I looked, there's only 2 flights in and out of Bangui in a week. And so these people are in the middle of nowhere in a very dangerous place there's no infrastructure and support, and yet they keep going back and saving the lives of the people of CAR in these extreme circumstances. So for me, they are really inspiring people.
No, that is inspiring. That is truly inspiring. Boy, I want to go see that.
And they're doctors and health staff from the US, from Canada, from Europe, from all over the world that go to CAR.
Wonderful. Well, why did you feel responsible to do this personally? Obviously, as we talked about, the need for this is pretty obvious. It's pretty plain, but that means thousands, if not millions of people have thought to themselves, I wish you did it. Why?
That's a great question. I guess when I first thought of the idea, I guess I was in a good place personally to take something like that on. But as I was thinking of the idea, I was walking through Battersea Park in London, and the idea was just folding out in my mind. And then I flicked through my CV in my mind and all the things I'd ever done. And I thought, hold on a second, maybe I'm meant to bring this into the world, because my CV really matched what was needed. And I thought, okay. And then I started talking to people, and I spoke to senior people in the humanitarian sector and all sorts of different types of people. And the response was really, really positive. And then I took the idea on retreat. I'm not a Buddhist, but I went to this Buddhist principles retreat in Dorset, Devin, the River Dart. And it was the most beautiful place. And I took it there for a week. And it was largely silent retreat. And it was just the best thing I could have done, because I had the chance to just be really still with the idea and think, what is the best way to bring this into the world? Because you see a lot of good ideas that just haven't been brought into the world in the right way. It's been rushed in. There hasn't been a lot of forethought. And so a lot of the ideas about the culture of Iguacu and the building of network and being really careful to hire world-class social science researchers to do the lead on the research, all of these ideas came in this retreat. And also really, I found myself super charged with enthusiasm after that, and which was needed because there was a lot to do. Covering countries like South Sudan and Syria, it's a big job and it takes a lot of time, but it works.
No, fantastic. Well, I want to ask, you are so amazing. What do you think of as being your superpower?
I guess it's really feeling a strong sense of this purpose being where I should be right now in my life. Like, I feel a very strong sense of alignment that I have found what I'm meant to be doing. It's very strong. And that kind of, adds superpower to my day and the challenges that Iguacu can bring and bringing it into the world. When, we don't have a marketing department. Our comms department is a marketing manager and an intern. So when you're trying something really big and it's a small team, but a clever team, and we're using world best practice, we've hired 2 fantastic agencies that are helping us. So while our comms team is 2 people, we are engaging 2 agencies at the moment, and they're great. One for PR and one for website design, as we reiterate and reform our platform in response to user feedback. But having that sense of purpose every day is really strengthening and gives me a lot of clarity and enables me too to communicate well with our community and spread the word, which is a big part of my job. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today, and I admire your superpower. I want to develop that skill. Now, we really do appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. But before you go, would you just tell people how they can learn more about Iguacu and connect with you personally?
Great, thank you. So our current platform, and the new platform will be the same URL, is weareiguacu.com. IGUACU, and on the home page of the platform you can sign up for our latest news, and anyone who signs up will find out when the new platform is being launched. Our community argued that we should develop a 501c3 giving service, and we're launching that in the spring. And that's going to be really exciting, because at the moment when you come to Iguacu, you find out what is an effective action, you take it, and then you go to the third-party site, visit the charity website, and you donate to the charity directly. And you don't donate through Iguacu. But our community said, no, we want to donate through you. So we're creating a platform for that. And we're inviting people who think they're going to really like this service, who are really interested in this kind of curation, to please get in touch with me directly. If I can invite them to come in touch with me, because as you can imagine, I think it was Airbnb had, 17 iterations or something at the beginning. The feedback from donors who use that platform, especially in the first 6 months, is going to be so important to the success of the mission. So if there's anyone out there watching this who thinks, yeah, I could spare 5 minutes a month on a Skype with Katherine, we'd love to hear from you. And if they do, if there's someone out there who fits that bill, my email is katherine@weareiguacu.com. And in the next 12 months, as I mentioned, I'm reaching out to corporates and senior philanthropists aligned with that vision. So the same email, if there's someone out there who thinks, wow, I really love what these people are doing and I can really see a fit for our company, we're really wanting to engage the corporate sector and philanthropists in helping us realise the mission and scale up Iguacu. So they're very welcome to get in touch. I'm doing a walkabout. I'm walking in nature one-to-one with CEOs and philanthropists. I did a big walk last year. It was a 600-mile walk from London to Geneva for Message for Peace. And there's nothing like, I mean, that's a bit extreme, but there is nothing like going for a long walk to clear the mind and step out of your daily life. And so I'm taking CEOs on a walk through nature and talking to them about the mission and vision of Iguacu and the vision for their company, and see if there's alignment.
Fantastic. Well, we are so grateful for you taking the time today, and want to wish you every success in the great work you're doing to solve the world's big problems.
Thank you. I'm really grateful, and from the Iguacu community for this opportunity. Thanks.
All righty. Let's do some good.
Great.